Crazy Marty. Today we're going to do a review here of the Battleborn batteries. I've had these things for a while now, I've been testing them, so we're going to let you know how we feel about them. So as a diesel mechanic, I've been dealing with batteries on and off for the last 35 years. I've had a love-hate relationship with them. I've tried every brand from Interstate to Douglas to Carver, you name it, I've seen them. Now we've got these new ones, Battleborn. These things here, they're pretty cool. I've got 3 of them, so I've got 300 amps of power. I've got my 3,000 watt inverter, and I've been testing these things on and off now since I got them. And I've discovered that I'm going from a full charge and draining them all the way down to where they go into what they call protective mode. Basically what it does is, you'd think it just turns off. No, they blink, 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 blink. So yeah, it can cause havoc with the electronic systems in the trailer and things like that. Mainly the in-command system. Yeah, the little screen, it blink, blink, blink. It's, oh man, it flickers. It doesn't like that at all. So oh, quick, turn it off, get some power to it, you know. Anyways, but yeah, I can run these three running off of just the 3 batteries alone, running the inverter. And let's say running 120 volt lights off of there, the television, and shop vac here and there to suck stuff up as I'm building everything out. I get about a week without having to recharge them, and then I can fire up the generator and kick in the inverter charger, and I can dump 125 amps into these things. If I wanted to, but the maximum you're supposed to put in there is their output rating, which is 1C. So you put in what you can take out, which is 100 amps. So I can dump 100 amps into these things, and I can recharge all 3 of these things in about 45 minutes and bring them all the way up to full charge. It's the most awesome thing compared to a lead acid battery, deep cycle battery, or AGM. It takes like 2 to 3 days to bring them back up to charge. I love these things. You know, I can't tell you enough about them. But one thing you do have to be careful of is the voltages that you work them at. Battleborn does have some paperwork, and I got this stuff here from Morningstar. Morningstar, the solar people, because Battleborn worked with Morningstar to come up with the configurations. You know, Battleborn tells Morningstar what the configurations need to be and this and that. So they all work together, the engineering departments, to come up with the proper settings. So the critical settings for voltages on these batteries is pretty simple. We have an absorption voltage of 14.4 volts, and you want to hit that for 20 minutes for 100 amp hours. So basically just run for 20 minutes. But the amperage that I'm putting out on my solar isn't going to be that. The most critical thing, though, is once the batteries hit 14.4, then your solar charger decreases the voltage, and you want that to be a float voltage of 13.6 volts. So 13.6 volts, and it says for 30 minutes. Basically, it just holds the voltage at 13.6. So 14.4 for absorption. Crank the amps into them, get them up there, get the voltage nice and high, and then it decreases the voltage and the amperage going in, and you want to run it at 13.6, because everybody knows that as the voltage increases, the amp draw decreases. So that's one thing people don't understand about batteries, is they work opposite of each other. As the voltage goes up, the amperage goes down. As the voltage goes down, the amperage comes up. Same with these type of things. So yeah, 14.4 volts for absorption, and 13.6 volts on the float is what you want. So, but otherwise, other than that, man, these things, as you see, I have them mounted sideways. That's one major advantage. You can stack these things upside down, on their sides, up. They don't care what direction they are. And Battleborn, because the difference between companies besides warranty, so the warranties on these is 10 years, and other companies will give you 5 to 7 or 3. And the main difference is the controller that they put inside these things and what they do. That's one thing that nobody will tell you, is that what you're buying is the controller inside, because all the parts, all the guts inside the thing are all made by the same couple of companies. There's only like 3 or 4 companies that manufacture lithium-ion batteries. I mean, the batteries for my drone and the batteries for your camera and what, you know, the laptop you're watching off of right now, they're all made by the same companies. There's only 4 of them out there, so they all have the same stuff. What the big thing is the circuitry that does all the protection inside. So these guys, they give you a 10-year warranty, so that's great, you know. And then they've also worked with Morningstar and all these other companies to set up, you know, give them all the critical information on their batteries. But like I said, these things, if it gets below 27 degrees, they will basically go into protection mode, and they won't let you charge them. You can't charge them until the temperature comes up. And then if you take and try to overcharge them, they will go into protection mode. They will shut themselves off. So they're kind of foolproof and idiot-proof in one way. But, you know, for $1,000 a pop, you got to think, okay, is it really going to be worth it? But then over the 10-year period of time, yeah, you kind of make up the difference when you start throwing batteries out every season, every 2 years, whatever, because you've gone too far in draining them down and whatnot. So, but otherwise, for these things here, for what I've been doing, I get a week's worth of running out of all 3 of them. A week, and then I have to charge them up. So, in my opinion, these things are, I would love to put them in everything, but apparently they don't work in vehicles for cranking amps and things of that nature from what they say. So, anyways, there you go. That's the Battleborn battery review, and we'll talk to you guys a little bit later. This is Crazy Marty. Bye-bye.
And I'll be sure and send you a postcard from freedom sometime.